Why are my page numbers repeating in Word? So if you've asked yourself this and you ended up on this video, I'm going to go over two different reasons why and how you can fix page numbers in Microsoft Word and know how to control them in exactly the way that you want. It's not your fault, don't worry. Let's hop in. So here we are inside of Word, and we can see that I've got these page numbers down here, and it's just 1 repeating. And so the reason for that is because I didn't let, or this document didn't let, Microsoft Word put in the page numbers. Instead, it's just typed in. And because it's typed in, if I get into the footer here, and if you don't know, you can like double click down there, or you can go to view and then check header and footer. And if you're just typing in the word numbers, or the numbers for the page numbers, Word is just going to repeat that footer all the way throughout. So it's going to be the same number. What we need to do is delete that. And instead, we're going to go to header and footer. If you have that view and that menu item here, you can go there and click on page number. You can also go to insert, and we can find page numbers right here. And so one way or another, we can go to page number, and we can decide if we want to show it on the first page or not. In this case, I'm going to show it on the first page, hit OK, and now I've got my document numbered. And because it's an actual page number item, Word tells this document to number the pages 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now, if you found that, okay, some of my pages are numbered in order, but then it restarts, it goes back to like 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. There's a big part of Word that you need to know about, and that's called sections. This is how you can control your page numbers completely. And so on the main tab in our little ribbon up here, it could be the home tab, or whatever that first tab is that gives you all these options. You're going to find the little paragraph show hide button. And so we're going to click on that. And underneath here, you're going to see things like page breaks, section breaks, etc. Unless you've pressed the return key a bunch of times, to get to the next page. But a page break basically means, hey, I'm done with the content on this page. Let's start a new page with whatever else. So we're going to go to the top of the page and start a new one. So page breaks are one thing, but there's also something called sections. And sections can have their own headers and footers, which means they can have their own page numbers. And so if you're finding page numbers starting over within your document, they're not correct, then it may be because you're seeing section breaks in spots where you didn't know that they were. So instead of seeing page break inside your document like this, you may be seeing section break. So if we go to view, insert, we're going to find break. And inside of break, we can add page breaks. We can also add section breaks that break it to the next page. So it's a page break and a section break in one. So if I click on that, it's going to add that section break. It's also going to add the page break. So I'm going to delete this page break. I don't mean it added the page break. I mean, we still had it, but I need to delete the page break that we already had. So I'll delete that. And so now my document's back to the same, but I have a section break instead of page. So what can happen with section breaks is that this footer down here can actually start over the numbers. And it can do that if it's not shown as same as previous. So when you're in this footer section after a section break, you can see some options up here. Different first page could be checkmarked. Link to previous might be checked. If we uncheck link to previous, then what happens is whatever we do in the footers of the previous section don't matter for the footers after that section break, which means that I could tell this section, hey, your page numbers, I want them formatted differently. Instead of continuing on from the previous section, I want you to start at 1 again. And hit OK. And so now look at this. We have section 1, which is 1, page 2. And then section 2 starts, and I told it to start back on 1. So we go back to 1 and 2. Now this is powerful if you want to do this. But this might be the other reason why your page numbers are not correct and why they are repeating each other. So how do we fix this? Well, we got to either change that section to say continue from previous, or get rid of the section if you didn't want a section break. And so you can see up here we have a section break instead of a page break. If you want that, but you want your numbers to continue on, then you can go back to this new section area and we can double click into that footer, or if we need to get into the view tab to go to header and footer, we can do that. And then as long as we have this section selected, we can go back up to page number, format the page numbers for this section, and say, you know what, I want you to keep going with those page numbers from the previous section, and hit OK. And so now we've changed that back and it counts from the previous section. Now you might notice that basically what we did was we also inserted page numbers from specific pages or at a specific page using sections. So you can fix your document this way, but you can also control your document this way. If we add a section break like we did, then we could start the pages over on the third page or the second page or wherever we want new page numbers to go, and we can actually format them different too. So if we wanted Roman numerals in that format, as long as we have this section selected, we could do Roman numerals for this section. If I don't want any page numbers on the first two pages or something like that, then what I could do is, since I have that section break that I've created now, so the third page is the start of that section, I got rid of continue from previous. Now the numbers continue from previous, but we'll change that here in a second, unless they disappear, and I'll show you how to add them back. But the footer itself, we got rid of the continue from previous, right? We don't link it to the previous. So that means it's not linked, which means I can actually get rid of these page numbers. I could just click on it, press the delete key, and for this first section, there's no page numbers. But since I don't link these, then the second section still has page numbers because it's independent of the first section. Now it starts on page 3, so what can we do? We can go back to page number, go to format page numbers, and we can say, actually, don't continue from the previous section. I want you to start at number 1. And page 1 is what this is going to start at if I hit OK. So now, this is our page 1. We ignore the first two pages. We created that section break, and we're able to actually number pages throughout our document in a different way. We can start on any page that we want to. And so you can really use sections to control where your page numbers are and where you're starting them from, and which pages have page numbers and which pages don't have page numbers. If I want to only number the odd pages or only number the even pages, you could do that throughout your whole document with this next setting, or I'll show you just with this section that we have, we could just have the odd and even pages numbered. And that's pretty simple. It's actually right up here. And so in the ribbon for header and footer, you're going to see different odd and even pages. So we could check mark that. And what happens now is we have basically the page numbers going throughout, but the odd pages are going to be one footer. You can see this is odd page footer. And the even pages are going to be a different footer, even page footer. So maybe I don't want to number the odd pages, but I want to number the even pages. So I can get rid of the page numbering on the odd footer. Press delete. Now it stays on the even footer because technically it's a different footer. It's the even page footer. And all the even page footers are linked and all the odd page footers are linked. And so when I scroll down, you'll see that the odd pages don't have a page number. The even pages keep their page number. So even though it's also in a section, so up here, oh look, we've got even page footer up here. So what we can do is say, okay, this even page footer says same as previous. Okay, we just fixed this a second ago, right? We've got repeating numbers 2 and 2. So this says same as previous. And so we're going to click on that footer and say, oh, I don't want to link it to the previous. So we're going to uncheck that. And now I can scroll up, and this new page number we accidentally added on this first section, we can actually just delete it, and it won't affect the next section because we changed the same as previous. And so we still have these numbers just fine because we had to change that linking. Since we went to odd and even, it relinked those, and so we just had to unlink them again, and we could get rid of it that easy. And that's because we have one section here, and then this is our second section. So you can look at your page within Word throughout this, kind of showing and hiding the paragraphs and all the formatting. And that allows you to see, are there section breaks? Are there page breaks? What kind of breaks are happening here? Because that's affecting my page numbers. And so you can easily do page numbers in Word. Make sure you actually add the page number, because that is like code on the back end that tells Word, count the pages and add the page number based on these sections. And then adding section breaks allow you to control where those page numbers end up, on which pages, on what number do you want to start on, what format of page numbers do you want? Do you want Roman numerals? If I wanted Roman numerals for the first 2 pages, all I would have to do is come in here on this section, and since it's not linked to the others, I did say odd and even pages, right? So I kind of have to do it for both of these. But on this odd page footer, I can come in here and go to Insert and, header and footer, right? And then go to page number, and I can add that page number in. Just like this, we can see a show page on first number. Yep. Okay, looks good to me. Alignment. We'll see. I'm going to go right and see how that does. So we right aligned that page number. It's number 1 right now. And we have number 2. So that worked perfect. This section now has page numbers. These sections remain unchanged because we unlinked them. So the rest of our document is going to be fine. But these 2, I want them to be Roman numerals. And so what I do is I go format that page number. And so I can have that footer selected, go up to format, and inside of format, there's a number format. And so we've got ABC, Roman numerals, all kinds of things we can put in here. So I'm going to do these right here. And let's see, continue from previous section. That's totally fine. Start at, I'm just going to keep it, with the original, it's going to be like the first Roman numeral, right? So unless you want to start it at a certain Roman numeral, you can. But I'm going to hit OK. And now we have some Roman numerals. 1, 2, and then we have numbers after that for page numbers. So that's how you can do a lot with page numbers, actually. This video started out as how can you fix repeating page numbers in your document. And, we pretty much did a full course here on page numbers for Microsoft Word. Now, I do understand that I'm on a Mac right now. Some of your ribbon stuff might be a little bit different on PC. But the actual walkthrough of it is all the same. You got to find header and footer. You got to add section breaks. You got to format your page numbers, add page numbers, unlink the sections. All of that's the same in Microsoft Word on PC or Windows. And so that's how you can add page numbers and edit page numbers and fix your page numbers in your Microsoft Word documents.